Yes, everyone, it is time for another episode of the Tech Informist podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody. This is Kevin.
And Brad again.
On this episode, we are going to be talking about the catch to T-Mobile's new 600 megahertz band.
Verizon already pushing out Android Oreo to Pixel and Pixel XL devices.
Amazon and Microsoft are teaming up to integrate Alexa and Cortana.
LG V30 finally.
Super Nintendo Classic pre-order problems.
SanDisk Ultra 400 gigabyte microSD card is now available.
Tesla's Hyperloop pusher pod has set a 220 mile per hour speed record.
And Apple to unveil the next iPhone September 12th.
Hello, everybody. Long time no talk to.
Indeed.
Yes.
We are here, and we're ready to talk some tech again. Yep.
Yes. And long story short, quick summary. We had recorded an episode 188 weeks ago.
Yep.
But I did not sound very enthusiastic during the episode. As I was going back and editing, I'm like, no, I cannot release this because I would have turned it off. That's just me. I would have turned it off quick. I'd be like, dude, what's wrong with this guy? So instead of punishing you guys by putting out an episode that I frankly wouldn't have wanted to listen to, I just scratched it, and then life kept intervening.
Yeah, I was busy for a couple of weeks at work, and our schedules weren't lining up so great.
Right.
However, we did see the eclipse, and
we did.
That was fun.
Yeah, we spent a few hours together on the eclipse, which was August 21st.
And, well, initially, the reason for that is they were forecasting a lot of people to come to the St. Louis area.
Right.
That didn't quite seem to be the case until we left.
And that's where you saw all the traffic.
Yeah, so luckily, Justin, friend of the show, used to live in the town that you live in now. And he grew up there. So he knew all the back roads and side roads.
Right,
so we took those instead of the highway, which is Highway 55.
Right, the main interstate.
My God, was that clogged up. And I'm so glad he was there to kind of get around that. And then beyond that, once we got closer to the city and closer to actually downtown, the exit that we would take to go to my place was all clogged and congested. So we dipped into Southtown, and that's where I came in and knew all those side roads and side streets. So we got home pretty quick, and I got to work just on time.
Right, which I was going to say, because you probably didn't leave the house until almost 2, and I knew you had to be at work at 3. I'm like, you'll be cutting it close.
It was very close.
But, hey, it was all good, and I hope everybody that wanted to see the eclipse got a chance to see the eclipse, because it was amazing.
Yeah, it was like nothing I've ever experienced.
No.
It's still surreal to me, almost like a dream.
It is, yeah.
And I'm really glad that like we all had kind of that, at least the early morning and the afternoon to kind of enjoy it.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Because, it took a while. It started all together at like 11-something with the moon starting to go in front of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking some snapshots just periodically to, not necessarily a time lapse, but kind of a time lapse, and just kept creeping across, and then, about 1:17, 1:16, it's like, oh my God, it's almost here. And then all of a sudden it happened, and you're like, holy cow. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and we got the full 2 minutes and 41 seconds where we were at.
Yeah.
It was the full-fledged eclipse. We were right in the middle of totality.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a good portion. What was amazing is it wasn't quite like dark like night, but it was more like just after sunset.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is if you looked in any direction, it was a sunset in that direction, which...
Right.
Looking to the north or looking to the east, that's a weird thing to see a sunset in that direction, so it was really cool.
Right. And kind of like I had mentioned that day, the sun originally rose in the east, but then it rose again kind of in the west after the moon was passing.
Yeah.
It was really surreal and something, when they say in 7 years, we wouldn't really have to go that far to kind of see it again.
April 2024. I think April 7th.
Yeah. Because instead of going from northwest down towards like Florida or whatever, this time it's going to be coming up from like Mexico. It's coming out from the southwest towards the northeast. That'll be the path that it takes this next time in 7 years.
Yeah. And it's going to crisscross right in our backyard, Carbondale, was it Missouri or Illinois?
It'd be Illinois.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not necessarily super southern Illinois, but the lower third of
like
Illinois.
An hour or so from here.
Yeah, we could definitely be there within 2 hours.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah, totally.
And seeing some really great pictures. I was able to capture some pretty nice photos, and a couple of them I think I might actually print out. A few people are asking, they're like, if you make prints, I might buy one.
Yeah, they
frame it. I'm like,
they turned out very well, and I'm glad that we did decide to take a couple shots.
Yeah. I don't think my stuff with my phone, I didn't really try to. Cause
phone was extremely hard. They just don't quite have the depth that you need to reach out and kind of get that totality look.
Unless you were using it to, like, pairing it with a telescope.
Yeah.
One of my ex-Cub Scouts,
I didn't even think of that.
who was on the Rocket Club from Festus that won, like, world championships a couple months ago. I mean, so he knows his astronomy stuff. He's going to school in Wyoming for astronomy or something like that.
That's a good place for it.
Yeah, he took some really great shots using his telescope phone into it. Like, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
So, but it was great, and one of those things you'll just never forget.
Yeah.
And it got so quiet. Everybody's like, "Ooh, it's so eerie." And then, as soon as it started, the moon started moving away from the sun. It just happened so fast. You're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's over! It's over!"
Stop looking.
Yeah, stop looking. It's like, wow.
It'd be like that episode of Invader Zim where his eyes get burnt out and then he's got to wait for the skin to grow back over his eyes so he can see again. I love that show.
Yeah. No. Anyway, hopefully everybody enjoyed the solar eclipse. It was awesome.
So back to some tech.
Exactly.
Before we get started, as you can tell, I got sick again. Woohoo! I guess that's the pleasures of working in retail and shaking all those wonderful hands.
Yep, working with the public.
Yep.
It can be a great yet sickening time.
However, in about a year, I should have a bulletproof
Immune system.
Yeah,
So you should be pretty rock solid here pretty soon.
Yeah.
You're just putting it through its paces, training it,
Yeah.
Getting a little conditioning there. So T-Mobile. Most people know that if you've listened to the show, don't usually have the best confidence in T-Mobile and stuff that they do, but we appreciate the fact that they
exist.
Push the rest of the industry to bring back unlimited data plans and do this and adjust prices, make things a little bit more affordable, stuff like that. So T-Mobile recently released or greenlit and activated their 600 megahertz network in certain areas. Now, it started turning on in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Funny, speaking of Wyoming.
Yeah.
And what 600 megahertz this band is going to be doing, it helps with building penetration. So you can actually get a reception and data inside your house instead of kind of how it now, where still kind of has a little trouble with buildings.
Yep.
And just better overall, stronger coverage. But the downside of this is the fact that there's currently no devices on T-Mobile's network, really any network, that can support that band, which is band 71, and that frequency again, 600 megahertz.
In fact, a phone we're going to be talking about a little later will be T-Mobile's first phone.
Yes. So it's kind of interesting that we kind of thought, the Galaxy Note 8, which was just unveiled and should start falling into people's hands here probably in the not too distant future, that you would have thought, okay, Qualcomm's going to be able to put that in there and it'll be able to work on that. But Qualcomm said, no, it has to actually be like on the chip. It's not something that can be activated by a software update.
So system on a chip thing, not a firmware thing.
Yeah, so if you want to be able to access T-Mobile's latest and greatest, there's really nothing in store right this moment, to the day that we record this, you can use on that.
So, I mean, this is kind of a big push for T-Mobile.
It is.
Because if I remember correctly, I believe AT&T and Verizon both support on their LTE band 700 megahertz. So this is just like right underneath it, which is, again, a really good push for kind of that third outlying carrier / Sprint. It's nice to see that they can at least maybe keep up. Maybe.
I would almost say that once T-Mobile really gets the 600 megahertz frequency more around the country, I'd consider switching. Just because, well, if I can get even better building penetration, I think overall T-Mobile service is one of the most affordable plans out there.
Yeah, definitely.
I know Sprint's got some pretty affordable plans too.
Yep.
But I'm a GSM kind of guy, not a CDMA, so...
I don't blame you. I wish all carriers were. However, that may happen in the future.
You never know. Everybody going with the universal thing. And I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't bother me. I would have no problem switching over once they got that out there and push everybody on our family plan to new devices. I don't know how my dad would do about that, though. He's not too big on the latest and greatest stuff, but that's understandable. But anyway, if you are in the Cheyenne, Wyoming area, let us know what people are saying in that area about this getting rolled out there. And what device, I mean, are you going to buy a new device? I don't know. I guess I would consider that. I'd be leery of buying a new device on like a 2-year plan right now. And buy something outright. I don't know. It's like, do I spend the money on a Galaxy Note 8 knowing that, well, I'm not going to get the full use and benefits of it?
Or maybe wait for another phone.
Right. And let's just go jump onto that real quick.
Yes, because it's driving me nuts.
Right. So this is a phone we've been kind of eyeing for a while, the LG V30. We've kind of previewed and kind of talked about it a little bit, how excited we were. And this is the third in the LG V series. So, you know, the
hence
V10,
the 30.
Right. It was the V10, last year the V20. And now we have the V30.
And it's just as gorgeous as the LG G6.
Yeah, it just looks like a slightly bigger version of the same phone. In a way.
Yeah, it is not much bigger. However, they seem to stretch those borders even more, which is kind of awesome. So if you were eyeing the G6, the V30 is absolutely the way to go at this point. Only because, you know, it's got all the upgraded stuff and then some. So better low lights with the 1.6 f-stop. You've got... They're increasing the video quality and the things you can do with video in the V30. Also, you know, it's got the same IP rating. It's got a 3,300 milliamp battery. I mean, it's a solid, good device. It's not, you know, outlandish. It's not doing something new. It's just trying to be a good phone, and I think it succeeds at that. I can't wait to get my hands on one, simply because I cannot wait to see what that OLED screen looks like.
Right, yeah. You're a big display guy, and we're always looking for, you know, the best displays out there. You love cameras because you love taking pictures, and you love LG.
Yep.
This is like...
It's everything good rolled into one.
It's like, do you sell both your G6, G5, maybe something else, and put that towards this? Or you might have to get creative.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do about the other phone we're talking about later. But no, the V30 looks phenomenal. And like you said, you know, it's got all the modern hardware that you would expect in a flagship device. This is LG's numero uno. This is the device that they hope everybody would be interested in.
And just looking at like some of the sample photos, I'm not sure about these blurry ones that they have down here. I don't know if that was due to low light or what's going on here. But the sample photos otherwise above it just look so good.
I don't think they look bad. And we always got to keep in mind that this is early software.
Yeah.
So it gets refined. I mean, prime example of that is the Essential phone that recently launched. And people are just now starting to get, you know, Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile, on the internet and on YouTube, did a review video. And then, like, 2 days after he posted the video, because he was talking about the camera and stuff. Well, Essential Phone, they pushed out a software update, primarily helping to deal with the camera, but it's still going to take a couple software updates to really get the camera squared away.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind a little bit, get a couple updates. Hopefully it'll be good. You want companies to get it right the first time, but
I think it's also worth noting that this time around, instead of having like the various phones in various markets, it seems like there's just one phone for all markets. It's got wireless charging. It's got the quad DAC that should have been in our US version. It's got the 64 gigs right off the bat. Like, it's, again, the only complaint that I can think about is potentially the curved glass that it has. Like, kind of has that curved edges there. And I don't know if that's like curved like the G5 or if it's curved like the iPhone, where I could still put a glass screen protector on it and not worry about it popping off or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd probably be more kind of like an iPhone in that regard.
Yeah,
kind of rounded.
I hope so, because the whole curved edge thing, I'm way over that stuff. Like, I just don't like it. It makes getting a glass screen protector difficult. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're into that kind of thing. So
yeah, I think there is really a difference between a rounded display and a curved display. I mean, rounded.
Yeah, that's true.
Rounded is just slight curves. When you think curved, that you're thinking Samsung kind of stuff. So I think LG kind of will hopefully do the right thing, and it's kind of tough to tell from pictures and stuff like that. Like you said, if you're an audiophile and you really have a nice set of headphones and stuff, this is the device.
Yeah, if you're not into iTunes or anything and you love your Android phones, this is the phone to look at. If you love doing photos, this is the phone to look at. Mm-hmm. If you love HDR and screen display, this is the phone to look at. I just, as much as people really do like their Samsung phones, they've never impressed me, I guess. Again, maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe I just like LG that much more.
Right. LG fanboy.
Oh, yeah.
3,300 milliamp hour battery. Sounds good. It is the same capacity as the smaller G6.
Yeah, and I would imagine, I'm just thinking out loud, in theory, that OLED should help with that battery, because
a little more efficiency. Plus the chip.
Exactly.
Snapdragon 835. Yep. That should help.
So, all in all, it should be fine. I mean, even the guy in the Android Central video with the first hands-on said that, after a full day's use, he still had like 30% left, and that's kind of where I usually sit. Even a full day's use, putting it through its paces, and still have about 30%. So
yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I'm still waiting for Apple to get right on their public betas for iOS 11. And maybe it's just the Facebook app is just such a battery hog. That if you've got it open, man, it is just drinking the battery.
Yeah.
And again, I'm waiting for the final release of iOS 11 before I do my factory reset. Because, well, that's just what I do.
Uh-huh.
I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
I like to have that fresh start with a new OS, little bits and pieces. But speaking of new updates for mobile OSs, Verizon is actually rolling out Android Oreo to Pixel devices in a timely fashion. Now, Android Oreo was released and officially unveiled back at the Google I/O, is what they call it.
Right.
When it was unveiled. And then it was officially released on August 21st, on Eclipse Day. I've already got it installed on my Nexus 6P. Thankfully, I don't have to deal with any boot loop issues. It's just working right now. And the notifications are they're nice on the display and stuff like that. I don't really notice
the colored notifications or whatever that you
colored
can do.
Notifications. It really looks nice when the display's off and stuff, and it lights up. It's like, ooh, that looks nice. The Twitter ones, they're blue, and other apps are just different colors. I'm like, yeah, looks nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. But Verizon is actually rolling out Android Oreo to the Pixel devices, like, now. And, it takes Google some time before they even push it out to these devices.
Mm-hmm.
But for Verizon to already start pushing this out to a carrier, the devices purchased from the carrier, because Verizon was the only carrier that you could buy the Pixel.
I'm sure there was some kind of
from.
exclusive deal with Verizon on that.
I would hope so.
Only because like they always seem to carry a lot of exclusive Android phones. Like Android is their MO.
Yeah.
Mostly because the whole Droid thing. Mostly because at first the iPhone chose AT&T, or more AT&T chose the iPhone.
Right.
But
Went to the highest bidder. Yeah. So it's really nice that they're doing this, and Verizon is known for being slow when releasing updates. So this is like a welcome surprise.
Yeah.
But it could also mean that, well, they didn't really sell that many devices, so they don't have to worry about too many people being affected. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I want the Pixel brand to do good because I like the clean Android, which it's interesting that Nokia is going to be putting clean Android on all their phones. So, I guess we'll see.
And we should be getting more information about the Pixel 2 and the XL2 probably in the next few weeks, I would imagine.
I hope so. I can't wait to see those because I believe LG's making those. Or is that HTC again?
There's like no official, but I think it's been strongly rumored that LG's involved.
With the OLED and all that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, buddy.
You don't know if you'd want the V30? I'd probably still go with the V30 just because of the DAC and and everything, and the camera. I doubt it would have dual. Well, it could have dual cameras because
only one way to find out.
Yeah,
guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep, wait and see. Exciting, exciting, exciting. So another thing that's kind of exciting is the fact that this kind of came out of nowhere. I really did not see this one coming. About Amazon teaming up with Microsoft, of all companies, to integrate Alexa with Cortana.
Yeah, this is like weird. This is real weird because I would imagine that things like this would stay separate. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I'm very wrong. Amazon is one of Microsoft's biggest competitors when it comes to cloud and cloud storage and things like that, especially on the corporate side. Anyhow, with Alexa and Cortana potentially teaming up, that could get really interesting with Google kind of being a standalone with Apple's new, I forget what it's called.
HomePod or whatever.
Yeah, being its own standalone thing. Yeah. I mean, really, they could kind of take the market, potentially, if they can work together.
Yeah. Soon you'll be able to talk to Cortana by saying, Alexa, open Cortana. From the Echo or like the Dot.
Or Cortana, open Alexa.
I know. It's so weird. I don't know. Obviously, we know Cortana is deeply integrated with the Office suite because, well, they're both Microsoft products. And Alexa users will soon be able to access that same information, including booking a meeting, viewing upcoming calendar events, reading your work emails, setting reminders, etc. It's pretty cool. Microsoft is going to launch Cortana-enabled speakers later this year.
Yes, with Harman Kardon. I'm excited about those as well.
Yeah,
as soon as we get them in the store, I'll be checking those out.
Yeah. Because then you'll have a little Google Home, and then you'll have possibly get one of those little devices.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So this really is kind of interesting. And, Amazon not too long ago purchased Whole Foods, and it kind of like went live a couple days ago, and kind of a Whole Foods supermarket, grocery store kind of place. Now you can buy Amazon Echoes and Echo Dots.
Well, and the other thing that's weird is, like, supposedly, down the road, you're going to be able to use your Prime discount at Whole Foods.
That would be awesome.
So, I mean, that gives... there's one right down the road from where I work.
I was going to say, Brentwood's got one.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good things.
Yeah. I want to say that might be the nearest one to where we live, too. So,
oh, yeah.
I asked my wife the other day, I'm like, where is the nearest Whole Foods? I would have thought one would have been what we call here in St. Louis, South County.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty busy happening little
Perhaps
area.
that changes in the future, being as Amazon's got a hold of it now.
Yeah, they could expand. There's no reason for a city to just have two.
Right.
And that's what St. Louis has, where there's two. So it's kind of time for expansion. We know Amazon's got the money.
Oh, yeah.
And I would imagine, based on what I've heard, that Amazon has dropped a lot of prices at Whole Foods to make it more competitive and get more people in there.
Excellent.
So there you go. There's no point you're going to be getting people in there. So that's pretty cool stuff.
Actually, I'm going to be heading there today to pick up what they call Beyond Meat. It's a meatless substitute.
So vegetarian stuff, vegan.
Yeah, exactly. Except instead of being soy-based, they're plant-based. And apparently they are so close to the real meat that vegans have sent it back claiming that they really did put real meat in it.
Wow.
So I'm going to check that out and I'll
Test
report
it with
back.
Sarah?
Yeah, because obviously my wife is vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, technically pescatarian, but most people don't know what that is. I'll just explain it real quick. It's basically vegetarian, but you eat shellfish.
Right.
Or fish. So
Seafood.
yeah.
Nice. Now this could, depending on who you talk to, this could fall into a rant of the week. We've talked ad nauseum and over and over and over again about Nintendo and the fact that the way that they handle these pre-orders and releasing these mini classic consoles is just not really a good way to handle it. So, again, the week of the eclipse, this is on August 22nd or something like that.
It was like the day after. I
It was
almost
really weird.
nailed it and said, "Oh, just
they're gonna
watch."
do it on Eclipse Day.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, suddenly, you know, I think it was the night of the eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
That Best Buy, I think, put out their pre-orders at some weird... It was like midnight Central Time.
Yeah.
So 1 a.m. Eastern. On a Monday night, a work night, Best Buy, hey, pre-orders are up. And I just, again, just like the original Walmart one back in July, I just happened to be on Facebook at that time, on my computer, still awake, and they went live. I'm like, oh my God. So I got my pre-order in, and again, I sent you guys a link and said, I hope the hell you both are up.
Yeah, when
And
I
neither-
definitely went to bed early that night.
Right, and neither one of you were away. I'm like, oh. And it went down in like 15 to 20 minutes, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, jeez. So I got one. I got my pre-order, my confirmation, so it should be good to go there. And then the morning of the 22nd, Amazon supposedly put it out there under some funky name, like Universal, blah, 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 something. Some weird, not the actual product page that everybody had the link saved to. So those went out like 4 a.m. Central or Eastern time.
Oh,
I did not get one of those.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I was not awake. And then all of a sudden, Target and I think Walmart and then GameStop started putting them out at like 10 or something like that, 10 in the morning Central Time, so like 11 Eastern or something. And I was unable to get any of those. I had one in my cart on Target, but for what we're getting ready to explain why that one didn't go through, I've kept trying to check out, and it kept, there was an error, so I kept trying to check out, and I finally just bloop, took it out of the cart and gone. Product not available. I'm like, ah. So I was unable to get that one. Nothing from Walmart, nothing from GameStop, because GameStop's website just wet the bed. Just totally went down for like the majority of the day. You could like access pages within GameStop, but you couldn't just go to GameStop.com.
Uh-huh.
If you knew specific links to get to, you could kind of navigate some areas in the website, but you couldn't get to the SNES Classic pre-order page. I don't even think pre-orders were available online. Some people said that they were able to get some, but you had to be like immediate.
No, their now sister company, I guess, ThinkGeek was bundling them, which, no.
And GameStop had bundles available, because later in the afternoon, there was actually still bundles available, ranging from, you could just get the $80 console by itself, all the way down to like $189 or $190 bundle.
Mm-hmm.
That includes 2 wireless controllers and a book and some other little silly things. I was able to get one of those bundles pre-ordered. So, right now I've got those 2. And then Walmart, just randomly, I don't even remember when it was just a few nights ago.
Yeah.
It was Friday night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like that. I happened to see the post that you sent, and I got my pre-order in finally from Walmart. Go figure.
Exactly.
We'll see if that one gets canceled too.
But have you gotten a confirmation email yet?
No.
Does it show up in your Walmart.com orders?
I haven't looked yet.
Because that's what I'm curious. Because I did get an email confirmation on
It's
that.
probably in my garbage bin or something. That happened last time too.
Yeah. Well, after we finish recording it, you need to check. I'm curious to know that. So right now I've got 3 pre-ordered. Obviously, 1 I'm keeping. 1, hopefully, in case you or Justin are unable to get one.
Mm-hmm.
That's my plan, because I get notified more instantly. In my situation, you guys both work outside the home. I still kind of work at home, so I have an easier chance. I get the text, I click the link, I place the order, I'm done in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So hopefully that all goes through. But I don't know what I'm going to do about that GameStop bundle. I'm like, I don't know. Do I just take that one and just sell it on eBay? I don't want to. It's like I thought about just canceling it, but I'm like, I don't want to do that either. And I don't want all that other crap. I don't mind having the book. I don't want the other crap. I don't want wireless controllers. They're generic.
Yeah.
Control. I don't want
They're just getting rid of their garbage.
Exactly. Like, I don't want that. But the reason why people are having so much trouble getting these, obviously they're in high demand, but people are using a $110 Tiding automated bot that once you get it set up, it just automatically places an order as soon as a link is live or a product is live on certain websites.
What the heck?
Exactly. So, hacker people, you got to admire them for being able to come up with this stuff.
Because they spend $110 to get an $80 thing.
Yeah, but if they get these because some people are getting numerous.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now, one of the things with Amazon, people were able to order multiples.
Oh, damn.
But Amazon did send out clarification emails. They weren't canceling their order, but they were cutting them down to 1, like what they did over in the UK.
Yeah.
When the Famicom became available.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I was reading a little bit about this Tiding script. It's just a script. So the bot can run when the pre-orders were announced, and you have a 90 some odd % success rate, and it just automatically carts and purchases whatever it is that you're looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. The only thing that it can't get around is CAPTCHAs. So websites that have that stupid CAPTCHA that we all hate. Yep. In a way, it's kind of good because it can screw up.
We'll see more of those, I bet.
Bots. Yeah, you
guarantee it. And then somebody will come up with a script to get rid of that.
I mean, Target and Best Buy did do it right that they limited people to 1 per account, purchase, ad, whatever. They limited it to it. But you weren't able to just buy multiples. Toys R Us didn't do pre-orders. B&H, they've got a product page. So B&H Photo Video out of New York, which is where I ordered my solar lens for my camera that I used. I mean, it's a really great company. It's very reputable. I would recommend them to anybody. But sign up for notification on there. Go to nowinstock.net and set up text alerts. That's how I was able to get the Walmart one. And the text came in, and I just clicked the link. It took me right. I was already logged into Walmart, so it just boom, 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 done. And I just made sure you guys got the link. And
I just had to buy from them again.
I know. I hated that. And I just kept waiting. I'm like,
I died a little inside.
They're going to say, oh, we did this in accident, too.
Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for.
Because it was also via a link that was not searchable on Walmart's website. It wasn't the actual product page as well. So again, I mean, retailers are trying their best to combat bots, but still, I just wish Nintendo would allow pre-orders on their own website.
It makes the most sense to me.
And, you do a pre-order, and, sure, some people are going to get them on September 29th when they actually are available. But if I pre-order it today and I wouldn't get it until November something, that's fine.
Yeah.
At least I know I pre-ordered one, and you still need to make it because the order's placed.
Yeah, kind of like Tesla.
Yeah.
Then hey, I'm not going to get my Model 3 till 2018, maybe 2019 at this point.
That's fine.
But I've got my pre-order in, and I'm in line, so whatever.
And the bugs will be fixed by that time, too.
I just don't see why more companies don't do that, where they okay, here's our pre-orders. They put X amount of money down. They definitely want the thing. So we'll make those devices with the pre-orders. And then beyond that, I don't care what they do. Like, if you really want it, you're online, you're searching for them. It's not one of those, I'm going to walk in the store and just find one. You know, it's at least not right now.
Yeah. I mean, GameStop, you could go into your local GameStop and get an in-store pre-order if you were lucky. They were allotted like a minimum of 6 or something like that. And, of course, there's always the Walmart midnight launches. There'll be units available at Target and Best Buy.
Sure.
But not many. That first day, I can't imagine.
Well, how many was there for Target when you stood in line?
5.
Yeah, exactly.
There was 5 consoles and 1 extra controller.
Yikes.
And I was number 2 in line, so I didn't get the extra controller then. And that now in stock.net, you know, I got the text alert just a couple months ago about the extra controller, and I was able to get one from Amazon.
So weird.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so they just found these somewhere, and
yeah, I don't understand, but whatever.
And like I said, the controller was harder to find than the console. Go figure. And that still kind of just sits in my... It's in a drawer right now. I don't even have it out on the shelf at the moment just because I don't have a place. A really good setup that looks good to kind of like put all this stuff out.
Yeah, I haven't quite got there myself, so...
Someday we'll get there. Anyway, still excited for the SNES Classic and looking forward to getting it. And I guess my Amazon UK order is still good. They haven't canceled it yet. So I want the Super Famicom from UK because it looks cool.
Yeah. I love the Super Famicom colors.
Yeah, so it'll look good on the shelf eventually if it does still arrive at the global shipping. Oh, and one other thing too about the SNES Classic. It's got that rewind feature. What do you think of that?
I'm okay with it.
I think it was pretty cool. I mean, you can go back a couple minutes and like RPGs and, you know, you made a stupid decision like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. We've all been there in games like, wish I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, so kind of like rewind and avoid getting killed or something.
Yeah.
You know, Super Punch Out, avoid getting knocked down by Bulbul or somebody. God, how did I get hit with that? So I'm excited about that, and we'll see. I would imagine people have it hacked within first week or so of.
Although the storage is going to be lacking this time.
Yeah, because one, the games are a little bit bigger for Super Nintendo. It's got this rewind feature, so I don't know how they're going to do that.
Guess we'll find out.
No, I'm sure they'll find out quickly, and you can imagine there'll be Super Nintendo cartridges put on eBay with Sky Fox 2.
Oh, Star Fox 2.
Star Fox 2.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, because people will dump that ROM and flash it to
sure.
Head 93. Something that nobody wants, that has no value.
Yeah.
It's an old junk cartridge and throw a repro label on there, and there you go. Now you got a Star Fox cartridge you can play in your original Super Nintendo.
Just like
that would actually be kind of cool.
Although they may have to take old Star Fox games because there was a chip that they had to put into that cartridge to make it work correctly.
Yeah, the Super Effects.
Yeah, so that might have to...
True. Yeah.
Might have to be a little soldering and other things involved.
Well, there could have been some Super Effects chip games that aren't worth anything.
I hope so.
So that would be the source. Obviously, that wouldn't be a Madden game in that case. But there you go. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to it. We're just under a month away.
Yep.
Time is moving so fast.
I know. It's insane.
Speaking of bigger, better, faster, SanDisk is now coming out with an Ultra 400 gigabyte microSD XC card.
Yeah, you've got all the companies announcing it, and it supports up to 2 terabytes.
Right.
Don't make it. No one makes it. This is the most anyone makes right now, is the 400 gigabytes.
Yeah. Looking at you, Switch.
Yeah. Well, at least this, I could buy this, put it in the Switch.
Yeah.
Be good to go. Well, 400 gigs on a Switch is a lot of memory.
That is, yeah.
So this is great news for all of you phone people with a ton of music and or movies that you have on your phone, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, I'm glad that we're finally breaking past those barriers. I believe the retail is $249.99.
Right. So $300 Switch, $250 card.
Yeah, I don't know.
$550.
Right.
Before tax.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
It is. This new stuff, as soon as it comes out.
Exactly. It'll drop just like everything else. I mean, your 256 gig cards will probably drop a little bit. I mean, we just got... Good. We have 2 terabyte and 4 terabyte Seagate hard drives at work. We just got in an 8 terabyte for the Xbox.
Ooh, how much?
It's only like $200 for 8 terabytes.
Yeah.
I mean, you get 2 of those, you got a server.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's the same quality that you would expect from SanDisk, waterproof, shockproof, X-ray proof, and it's able to support minimum read-write standards that, give it the A1 standard, so you could actually run apps on it if you needed to.
The thing I like about this, 10-year limited warranty.
Yeah, what's with that?
That's nice.
That is strange. Welcome, but strange.
Yeah. And like you were saying, the 256 or the, whatever the largest currently is, probably like a 200 gigabyte. Those will be coming down in price. The 128s, which, you can get Samsung SD cards for like $30 for the 128. So those will probably drop even more. So that's really cool. I would think just putting a 128 or a 200 in a Switch would be plenty. But
perhaps.
But you never know.
Yeah.
You can always do more.
But, just looking on Amazon, because this is where it's posted, looks like it says usually ships 2 to 4 weeks. So I guess it's not quite out yet, but it's like on the cusp of being out. So
we'll let you pre-order.
It says add to cart.
Well, there you go. So you get your order in.
If you really want one.
Yeah, if you really want one. I think it's cool. I mean, 400 gigabytes on an itty little memory card. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Another thing that's awesome is Tesla's Hyperloop pusher pod setting a 220 mile per hour speed record.
Yeah, so Elon, back a couple... maybe months ago now, had a bunch of students kind of compete for making their sled like one of the fastest. Mm-hmm. And I believe one of them, he kind of helped to get 201 miles per hour on a 0.77 mile long track. Pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Well, Elon has since regained interest in this and is putting like Tesla and SpaceX technology into play, and they were able to achieve 220 miles per hour. And now, according to him, with a little tweaking, he feels that they may be able to hit like double that, 500 kilometers per hour, which equals 310 miles per hour, which is really fast for a land speed anything.
Yeah.
And that's only about half of what they want to do.
Right.
So...
because they want to get to 500 to 600 miles an hour on that same track.
Yeah, and he said at 220 things started to get a little... and then he has a fire emoji. So I imagine they started to break down, break or catch fire, or all of the above.
Yeah. I think it's going to be... man, I'm just... more and more excited about this stuff.
And just watching the video, by the way, is kind of makes you do one of those cross-eyed things. It's like,
yeah.
Because it is extremely fast.
Yeah, I mean, 310 miles an hour on a short little track like that.
You're going to be there in no time.
Yeah, it's like, zoom, there. All right, cool. Like that flight will be taken from St. Louis to Boise in next week. I mean, it's going to take a little while to get there, but just imagine what it'd be like to take this from St. Louis to Boise.
Safer.
Be there.
Safer, hopefully less hassle.
Hour, 2 hours, something like that.
Yep.
The future.
I know. We're in it.
Future. Yep. Musk just cannot stop.
I hope he never does.
Yeah. I mean, they're already figuring on getting people into space pretty soon. I think they're even doing some conversions and stuff down at Cape Canaveral. Yeah,
and also he's also stated like the first test launch of the Falcon Heavy. Mm-hmm. He doesn't expect it to reach space because of how complicated it's going to be compared to the regular rocket, the Falcon 9, I believe.
Mm. But still,
he'll get there.
Can't hit a home run every time at bat.
No, he'll get there.
Yeah. Last but not least, Apple iPhone event is set for September the 12th, which is also the day that we fly back from Idaho.
So you'll be maybe checking the news feeds once
yeah,
you
whenever I
land.
land. I think we might have a layover in Denver or something like that coming back. We'll see. We're looking forward to this. They're going to have it at supposedly, their new facility. So that'll be the Steve Jobs Auditorium on the new campus. That's the plan. That's what they're wanting to do. Hopefully they'll be able to get permits and approval that, yes, these parts are safe enough to have an influx of people.
Yeah, that's going to be cutting it close.
Because I think that Steve Jobs Auditorium only holds like 1,000 or something people, so it's a lot smaller than some of these other facilities.
Only 1,000
that they've done, in the past.
Well, it'll all be media people, so
yeah, media, investors, insiders, stuff like that.
Yep,
and some Apple employees, of course. That'd be cool. So they're supposed to be unveiling the 7S, 7S Plus, and of course the iPhone 8, which is rumored to have storage options ranging from 64 to 512 gigabytes.
That's insane.
512 gig internal.
Why?
I don't know. That's pretty awesome, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could download all of your movies and music and put it on there.
If you want. I mean, just with what I've got installed on mine, no movies other than things that I've shot on my camera, but just photos. I'm pushing over half my 128 just with photos and some apps.
Totally.
That's really, really kind of cool. Bezel-free kind of design. We've been seeing more and more of these renders out there. It's kind of got that little, not necessarily a widow's peak, kind of like the Essential phone. It's just more wider there across the top.
Yeah, it's kind of like got a notch for all the cameras and the speakers. A lot of people are criticizing it. I think it looks awesome, especially that your notifications are going to run along that top row right by it. Mm-hmm. I think it's great.
I think I'd be fine with it. Obviously, I want to kind of see it in hand.
Sure.
Because they say it's going to be just a smidge smaller. Yeah, talking about expense in a minute. But they say the size is going to be a little bit smaller than the 7 Plus, but you get larger display.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. And also talking doing away with the home button. Other than putting it on the screen, I don't see where else they could do a home button. We'll have to see on that.
Also, during the event, they're talking about the next Apple TV that may be able to do 4K and HDR.
Uh-huh.
Now you've got my attention.
Right. Yep. Because you've got a nice music collection and stuff on your Apple account, don't you?
So does Sarah. I mean, Sarah has Apple Music, obviously.
She's iPhone.
She's an iPhone person. That's fine. That works for her. It doesn't work for me quite yet.
Right.
I'm still waiting for a few things to kind of tick over on the Apple realm. I don't know if I'll ever get there because I really like my LG phones. So
right.
I don't know.
And throw in the fact, iPhone, Apple TV doing the 4K. That'll be really nice. I think it's what a lot of people were disappointed the last revision. It didn't have 4K.
Sure.
They thought, well, come on, guys. Seriously? You can't do that?
Yeah, and I mean, well, with Scorpio coming out, Xbox One X, because it's not Scorpio anymore.
Unless you got a pre-order for one.
Which I did. Thank you very much. I managed to just get one in. The first day, we only had so many. Ran out of those immediately, pretty much. Just like all the news reports had said, it was very fast on the pre-orders. Like, I got to work and they were gone already. And I wasn't in that much later than everyone else, so that's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I'm just kind of looking forward to setting up for getting a 4K TV with the rumored OLED TVs from LG looking to be a little cheaper soon. So,
and also Apple Watch 3. Including a possible LTE variant.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
I guess so you could kind of have it standalone and do it.
Right. You really wouldn't need your phone to go for a run.
Right.
All. I was thinking about it today since my schedule's been so weird. Some days I go work up at my brother-in-law's house, and it's not something that I want to wear my Apple Watch doing. So then I haven't worn it as much around the house. So I forgot to put my Apple Watch on today. I thought about it as I was driving, like, oh, geez, I forgot my watch. Weird. So it's been on the charger for like 3 days now.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll get back to a regular routine and I mean, again, we'll release this episode, and I don't know when we'll release the next one. It might be a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say at this point, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We will eventually get back to a regular routine because brother-in-law's house is sold. Close on it tomorrow, so that'll be done. Then we'll just have to finish taking care of my sister-in-law's house.
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing fine. She's fine. She's doing good. It's just a matter of she's not going to be going back to living on her own.
Right.
So no point in having the house because you might as well sell it too.
Yep.
So get that one sold for her. And that'll be a much more challenging sale just because she's still alive to want to negotiate with these people, and I don't think she's up for that. She's going to have too much. She thinks more on emotion than logic. So
yeah,
you get what you can for this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And again, we'll get things regularly scheduled. So I appreciate the people that reached out and said, hey, really having a withdrawal here. It's like, I know, I am having withdrawals too. And it was so weird that we spent numerous hours together on Eclipse Day. I'm like, I guess we could have recorded an episode, but it
could have had
awkward.
Justin on the show too.
Yeah, it'd have been a little awkward. I'm like, it's Eclipse Day. I don't want to be thinking about podcast.
Yeah, that we would have had to do that right when we got there in that first 2 hours.
And
otherwise,
I'm too tired. It's too early in the morning. You guys got there like 8?
No, we left at 8. We got there closer to 9.
Yeah, it's still too early.
Yeah.
Still too early to be talking. It would have been another episode like I ended up canceling.
Potentially, yeah.
So I'm like,
part of the Lost episode series.
Yeah, the Lost episode. I don't know. iPhone 8 might start at $1,000.
Yeah, yikes.
That's going to be expensive.
People will pay it.
People will pay it because it's Apple. It's 10th anniversary.
Oh, why buy the 7 when I can buy the 8?
Right. But then again, I mean, some people will be fine with the 7S and the 7S Plus.
Well, they're going to have to because that's all they got.
Yeah. Yeah. And then iOS 11 will be finalized and released to everybody. And then I can do my factory reset. Mm-hmm. Start it from scratch.
What a fun one.
What a fun one, yes. So app entertainment and hardware picks. I mean, there's been a lot of things. I don't know if you've really seen many movies or anything lately. I don't know. Have you gone and seen any movies lately?
Not at the movies.
I know we haven't gone in a few weeks.
I'm trying to pinch every penny right now, being as we're going to be heading to San Francisco.
Yeah, you got San Francisco. You got your Xbox One X. You've got all the Samus Metroid stuff.
Yeah.
You got your Super Nintendo Classic.
Yeah.
Destiny, these other games.
Destiny was pre-ordered and paid for way before any of that stuff. So that's the good thing.
And when does Destiny? It's like
next week.
I'm
so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm going to be losing lots of sleep from here on out.
Yeah. Goodbye Gears. Hello Destiny.
Yeah, for a time. Yeah. Definitely. I'll definitely hop back in though because I got to keep my skills fresh,
Yes. But for those of you who are big Netflix fans, such as myself and Brad, there's a nice list of things that's coming to Netflix, Amazon Prime, and HBO Now in September that we are linking to.
Yes, there are.
So some of the things that are coming to Netflix is Gangs of New York, Jaws 1, 2, 3, and Revenge. Pulp Fiction's coming back. Apparently Shaquille O'Neal's presenting a whole bunch of all-star comedy jams from Atlanta, Dallas, Las Vegas, Orlando, and South Beach.
Weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Mark Maron's got something coming out called Too Real, so that's a comedy special. BoJack Horseman, Season 4. And Walking Dead Season 7, for those of you Walking Dead fans.
I'm so far behind.
Yeah, like I said, I've never even started it, so I got plenty of things to binge. Jeff Dunham's got a new comedy special called Relative Disaster. Fuller House, I believe, is also bringing out more episodes. That's later part of September. Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I presume this is the new one? The live action with Emma Watson? It would make sense. But you never know because it's not specified here. Jerry Before Seinfeld. So that's a Jerry Seinfeld comedy special. Foo Fighters Back and Forth. I guess that's kind of like a musical concert. George Harrison, for you Beatles fans like myself. Living in the Material World. Looking forward to that as well. Well, of course, a bunch of things leaving Netflix as well. You can look through them. I'm not going to keep reading all this stuff. That'll bore you, and then I'll want to cut this episode again. And I don't want to do that. I'm staying positive. I'm staying upbeat. It's going to be fun.
But there's a lot, so you can always check out this list in the show notes from The Verge.
Mm-hmm. From The Verge. Yeah, there's so much stuff that I just don't have time to watch.
And with September quickly approaching, as of, I guess, tomorrow, and as we record, Games with Gold will be renewed. So September 1st through the 30th, we have Forza 5, which was a launch game for the Xbox One. Great game. I mean, the Forza series is just, it's great hit after great hit. There's really nothing that you can say bad about them, but I'll be glad to have that digitally, because I did buy it, played it for a little while. I just kind of fell off of it just because
physical, you don't like putting discs
well,
in
that
and out.
too, yeah. And I traded it in towards something else, so it is what it is. So that's coming back.
Normally $40. That's a heck of a buy right there.
Totally.
Free.
Oxenfree, which is a fantastic game. If you like Stranger Things, you're going to love Oxenfree. That's going to be September 16th through October 15th, so that's that half-month jump. And then for the 360 backwards compatibility, you've got Hydro Thunder Hurricane? Or Hydro Hurricane Thunder? I don't know.
Yeah, so for you boat racing fans...
Yeah, that's a weird one for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's going to be September 1st through the 15th, so that's the half-month one. And then Battlefield 3, which I guess I kind of forgot that was a 360 title. I don't know. I get 3 and 4 mixed up.
Right.
So that'll be September 16th through the 30th.
Yeah. I remember that being a beautiful game. My son.
They are usually really gorgeous. I had a special edition headset, the Razer Black Shark, that Nimbus decided he wanted to eat. So then I had to get another pair of Black Sharks because they don't really sell those too much anymore because they kind of moved on to the Kraken and all that. But I prefer my Black Sharks. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I'm kind of curious to check out Oxenfree. That would be interesting. And of course, at least acquire.
Very story-driven. Yeah, very story-driven, dialogue-heavy. Not a whole lot of like platforming per se, but more puzzle figure-outing.
Okay. What would you compare it to? That you can think of that might be...
Maybe more along the line, like a third-person view of something like Portal, like puzzle-driven, but with a narrative, and it's a mixture of a lot of things. It's its own thing, really.
Right.
But it is really cool. I like it a lot.
And you mentioned Stranger Things. Season 2 comes out on, Halloween or October 30th?
October 28th now?
Yeah, so right before.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And they've already announced that they're going to also do a third season, which might be the last one.
Yeah, totally. Either the third or the fourth is going to be the last one. They have like this arc. I'm so glad that they're not going to stretch it out and like make it tired like a lot of series from Showtime does. Thank you. Let's cut that out. Let's make a show because it has story left, not because it has money left or anything.
Right.
Like, stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, kind of like Breaking Bad, 5 seasons and done. Good.
Hell,
leave fans wanting more.
Split up the last season if you gotta,
Yeah.
If you really want to stretch out that extra buck.
Right. Game of Thrones, Harry Potter.
I'm already getting withdrawals, Kevin. It's not even Sunday.
I understand. Speaking of Breaking Bad, I've finally started re-binging it myself, and now Jamie, my wife's watching it with me. We're like 3 episodes in. She's like, this is pretty good.
We got to get Jeff back onto watching it because he was watching it with us for a while and catching up, and I got a new job, so...
Yeah, I'm sitting there just going back through as we were watching the first few episodes again, and I'm just laughing. How well
it's so
Bryan
good.
Cranston and Aaron Paul, their interactions,
their chemistry. Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Initially, not Bryan Cranston.
Aaron Paul?
Yeah, Aaron
Jesse
Paul.
Pinkman?
Yeah, he was supposed to be killed off the first season, but their chemistry was so good that he decided against that and wanted to continue with him for the story. And I'm so glad he chose that.
I'm curious to see how that show would have gone otherwise.
Oh man, I don't even know.
Such an integral character throughout the entire run.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if it would have been as good.
I don't know, but I'm glad that it played out the way that it did.
Totally.
But anyway, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, just do it.
Easily top 3 shows of all time.
And Ozark on Netflix as well. Got renewed for a second season.
Yep,
That's
I still got to watch that.
That's awesome. Cool. Good to hear. So again, if you're a Breaking Bad fan, you'll probably like Ozark as well. And let's see. I think the last thing that I did want to talk about is the fact that it is coming to theaters.
Yeah. When does that come out?
I believe that is on the 8th, so it's like next.
Oh, wow.
Next weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
We're totally going to see it. It looks ridiculous.
I'm going to have to wait till the following weekend, because again, it's not something my 70-year-old in-laws, brother and sister-in-law out in Idaho would want to go see.
Totally.
That's not going to be their style. So, won't be seeing it on opening weekend. But no, I'm definitely going to go see it because your early reviews are positive.
Oh, are they?
So I'm excited about that too. Because I mean, I'm not usually like a big horror fan, but once I seen this was coming, I'm like, yeah, I want to go see that.
Justin, friend of the show, is probably the biggest horror fan I know.
Yeah, and they say this is really well done. So, looking forward to it.
How about some beer?
Beer? I'm thirsty.
Looks like you have a pick this week.
Well, not really my pick. This is actually still the one that you had in there from the Lost episode.
Well, yes, so I stand corrected then. So, I mean, Oktoberfest is definitely upon us.
Yes.
Especially now that we record this now versus then.
Right.
And I had to put out another Oktoberfest recommendation. I may or may not have done this before, but too bad.
Right.
Sierra Nevada, which is there over in Oregon, I believe.
A little more wider release available.
Definitely. You might know like their Mirror Pond or any of their Obsidian Stout or anything like that. Really fantastic beer company. They have just, Oktoberfest is what it's called, obviously. From Sierra Nevada Brewing Co. That's 6.2% ABV, 30 IBUs. Now, it used to be called Oktoberfest with a C and not a K, which is the incorrect way to say Oktoberfest, by the way. And that was back in 2004 with an ABV of like 5.8. They've since redone it, retooled it a little bit, I guess. And I think it's fantastic. But Marzen is one of my favorite kinds of beer. So maybe I'm a little biased. But I gave it a solid 5 when I had it. It was a very, very good true-to-style Marzen. I don't know, I just kind of like the true-to-style beers a little more than the fanciful ones, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess if I were to throw one in here for a beer pick, and this was just one of those limited releases at the craft brewery / restaurant there in Festus.
Yes.
Was the Eclipse-themed Trail of Totality. And it's a blackout tart wheat beer brewed with black raspberries and blackberries.
It definitely has that wine kind of, like, not necessarily taste, but maybe smell or aftertaste in a good way. It wasn't necessarily my favorite, but I'm super glad that I got to try it. Because I always, you know me, I always love to try new beers.
Right.
And I'm totally down for trying any new beer.
Yeah. To me, it reminded me of like a lambic framboise.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Not necessarily a sour.
Not as sweet either.
Right. But, very fruity. My wife, who can't stand beer or anything that I typically will say, here, try this. She sticks her nose up to it. She actually, it's not too bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I had that as soon as I got off at 11 o'clock. I opened that and it's like, oh, so good. But, I mean, they've got it in the sour ale category here on Untapped. And it's got 88 ratings because, again, it's a very limited release. They brewed 2 barrels of it.
Yeah.
2 batches.
And they came with the glasses, which was super cool.
Yeah. And it's got an average of 4. So 5.5 ABVs, 4 IBUs. I don't remember what it was that I gave it. I gave it over a 4. It was probably like 4.25, probably. It was good. It was really, really good. It was one of the joys of having a craft brewery, just like 2-minute drive, if that.
Yeah.
They can be there lickety-split. But that does it for this episode of the Tech Informers podcast. We hope that you've enjoyed hearing us ramble in your ears again, even though it's been like a month. I don't even remember.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure either, but we're sort of back.
Yeah.
We'll just work through it as much as we can.
Yeah.
So, just check back.
Yeah, please be patient, and I'll try to update things on Twitter or the Facebook page or something like that. I might change the Facebook page to a group. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to
might work better for us.
Look into that, yeah. So more people can just interact, because I know we don't do anything with the old Slack channel or anything like that. So, I don't know. It's just tying up loose ends, man. It sucks.
Yeah,
trying
totally.
to get stuff. It's picking up more hours because we lost one of the staff members. She got a new job, so I've picked up more hours for my stepson, and I don't know. We'll get there. But thanks for being patient, and we hope you've enjoyed. And, again, just keep checking your podcast app from time to time for a new episode. We'll try to get things out again. So that does it for me. Check us out online and hit us up. Let us know what you think. And until then, consider yourself informed. We're out.
Take care.